New York Mets, they signed uh, AJ Minter to a 2-year contract, $22 million deal. AJ Minter is really a good player, I would say. He was with Atlanta for his whole career, for 8 years, I think, or 6 years. The first 3 or 4 years, the ERA wasn't the greatest, like 7 or like maybe 4-ish ERA. And in the last 3 years, he had under 3. I think it was like 2.30, 0.60 something, and it was pretty good. And it says right here, he says made 39 relief appearances and posted a 2.62 ERA over 34 and 1/3 innings pitched with 35K and a 4.45 FIP. I think it's really good. As you know, the Mets were thinking about either him or Tanner Scott, but Tanner Scott wanted a multi-year deal, 4 years. But as you know, the GM didn't want to give relievers multi-year deals because relievers are not consistent as hitters. So I think it's a good signing for the Mets. AJ Minter will help, strengthen their bullpen a lot if he can stay healthy. Last season he had a hip injury, which he's fine now. He got that recovered, but just gotta stay healthy. And I think it's gonna help him with Reed Garrett, with Edwin Diaz in the back end of the bullpen. I think this is gonna be a really, really good signing. Personally, I wish we could have gotten Tanner Scott. I think he's better, in my opinion, than AJ Minter. But like I said, Tanner Scott wanted a multi-year deal, which he got from the LA Dodgers. LA Dodgers, a 4-year deal worth $72 million. That's a little bit too much. They overpaid him too much. I'm shocked that they overpaid him too much, but that's what the Dodgers do. They overpay. They don't care. They got a bunch of billionaires in that organization. But AJ Minter, not bad. Tanner Scott, he is pretty much one of the best bullpen guys in the league. Past 3 seasons, he earned his first All-Star nod in 2024. He had 72 total games. He posted a 1.72 ERA across 72 innings pitched. With 84K and 22 saves. Really good pitcher. Like I said, you compare him to AJ Minter, way better. This is going to help a lot with the Dodgers. Their pitching is unbelievable right now because they even added Japanese right-handed superstar Roki Sasaki. And what's even crazy is that heel international players, they only cost $6 million or $2 million. It doesn't cost them a lot. And the Dodgers got him at that price for I think for a few years, like 3 or 4 years. That's insane. Their bullpen is starting pitching, wow. And I think it's going to happen. He would definitely go to the Dodgers. The Dodgers always link to every Japanese superstar. It's unfair. The only players from Japan that didn't go to the Dodgers, or at least the West Coast, was the one guy from Boston. I think he's an outfielder, and then Kodai Senga of the Mets. And then, as you know, back in the day, well, not back in the day, but years prior, you had that one pitcher that was on the Yankees. So it's rare for players to come onto the East Coast because the West Coast is more closer to Japan, and I guess LA more of a Japanese headline than the East Coast. But the Blue Jays and the Padres were connected to Sasaki though, which you would think because the Blue Jays in Toronto, they're very, very big on the Japanese culture. They're a lot. They have a huge fan base of the Japanese people there. As for the Padres, you know that I forgot who the pitcher for the Padres is, but he's one of the starting pitchers there, and he is a huge fan of him. growing up. So it's like us looking up to Derek Jeter, us looking up to Tom Brady. That's how he looked up. Is for Japanese culture. It's like I think they're a god if I'm correct. I might be wrong, but I thought he would have gone there because he like kind of like worshipped him kind of. So he just chose LA instead. It's very interesting how the Dodgers are always spending money. Like how? And a lot of teams are getting annoyed about this, which I am kind of annoyed too, but I shouldn't be talking because I'm a Mets fan and Steve Cohen does spend a lot of money. But, bro, like, but then again, like, I feel like a lot of these other teams, like the Reds, the Pirates, the Marlins, the Nationals, the Athletics, I feel like they can spend the money, but I feel like they never ever spend it. Like the last time Athletics spent it was Severino this past off season. The Marlins, I don't even think they spent a lot of money on a player. The Nationals, they were supposed to give Juan Soto the contract, but that never happened because he wanted to get a better contract. The Pirates, I don't think they ever spent it that much. The Reds, I think kind of with Joey Votto, maybe. It's just some of these owners need to start spending, you know? So, it is what it is. As for the Blue Jays, they signed another player, which is Anthony Santander. There were speculations that they weren't going to sign Vladimir Guerrero, my brand Pete Alonso, which Pete Alonso is still in the market. We don't know what's going on with him. Nobody wants him, which I'm shocked. But it is what it is. Everyone got first baseman or DH ready. But Anthony Santander, 5-year contract. And I think it's $90 million if I'm correct on that. It is an overpay. I think so. 100% teams were not going to give him $90 million. I think more like 60 or 50, something like that range. But the Blue Jays were desperate. They needed more power bat, and I think adding him is really good. His defense isn't the greatest, but his hitting is really good. This past season, he had my bad. He did not this past season, but in 155 games, flashing 235, 308, and a 506 with a career high 44 home runs and 102 RBI. Not the greatest average, I would say, but like overall, like he's a good hitter. I think he might put him in DH sometimes, maybe in defense, which I don't think that's a good idea because he's not that good. Unless you versus a crappy team, then go ahead. But but you gotta see how Toronto does with this. As for Pete Alonso, I'm not really 100% what's going on. The Mets were going to a different direction, which it sounds like they're still connected with Pete Alonso. I'm not 100% sure because it's very confusing. Because right now I'm looking up, it says my sense there's real interest there from Blue Jays in signing Pete Alonso, and from my read, I can't type, that I have on the situation, Alonso would probably be okay with coming here. I think he is open to coming here. This guy cannot type, bro. But it sounds like Pete Alonso might want to go to Blue Jays, but then for some reason I keep hearing he wants to go back to the Mets, and they're still trying to work something out. I have no idea. So we just gotta wait and see what Pete Alonso does. And if he goes to the Mets, he goes back to the Mets. If he doesn't, he doesn't. But as a Mets fan, I think this is okay. If Pete leaves, he always just swings at everything. I know we need a power bat. There's really nobody else out there. I was really leaning forward for the Mets to get Josh Bell, but that didn't happen. So I don't know what to do with the Mets, man. I have no idea.